Remember that whenever you want to integrate the products of the sines or the cosines term, we use something called as de-factorization formulas in trigonometry. De-factorization formulas are the formulas which converts that product into addition or subtraction and makes our integrals super easy. Okay, there are four de-factorization formulas which are there in trigonometry that you see on the screen right now. They are for different combinations of sines and cosines. Okay, in this case, I have sine times sine. This is the only de-factorization formula that starts with a negative half. Remaining all defactorization formulas starts with a positive half. Okay, and this formula has cosine minus cosine. Also remember that in these defactorization formulas, the first term always has the angle which is a plus b, and in the second term it's a minus b. Basically addition of the two angles that we have in the first term and subtraction in the second term. Okay, let's see that formula in action via this amazing integral that we want to solve. One rule of thumb which I like to follow while applying defactorization formulas in general is I like to write those angles in the descending order. So instead of having it as sine 1x, 2x, 3x, I would prefer it to write it as sine 3x, sine 2x times sine 1x. Why do we write it in descending order? It's not a compulsory rule, but it makes my calculation a little bit easier in the following steps. Okay. Now let's apply let's take two of those terms and apply the defactorization formulas. Sine 3x times sine 2x. So this will become integral of sine times sine is the formula starts with a minus half, and the formula is cosine minus cosine, and I have this sine 1x over here with respect to x. In the first term, I have addition of those two angles, 3x plus 2x, which will give me 5x. In the second term, I have subtraction, 3x minus 2x is 1x. I hope that makes sense. This minus half is constant, can be taken out of the integral. So I have minus half integral of, and you can just multiply this sine x inside of that bracket. So I have cos 5x times sine x minus cos x times sine x with respect to x. Again, notice that I write it in descending order. Okay, it just makes it easier when you apply the defactorization formula. So that will become minus half integral of, let's again apply the defactorization formula over here. Cosine times sine. The formula is half sine minus sine. Okay, minus, this is cosine times sine again. So the formula is again half sine minus sine, close the bracket. Okay, and let's close this big bracket over here. And this is getting integrated with respect to x. I hope that makes sense. Uh, let's write the angles over here. Okay, in the first term, we have addition of those two angles, 5x plus x, it is 6x. Here we have 5x minus x, which is 4x. Okay, here we have x plus x, 2x. Okay, and in the second term we have difference x minus x, which is 0. I hope that makes sense. Remember that sine 0 is nothing but 0. Okay, so this is nothing but 0. Okay, all right. Now what we can do is just factor out this half outside of those brackets, and you can also take it outside of that integral. Okay, so this half and this half can come outside of that integral and make this minus half as minus 1 by 4 integral of, let's see what is left inside of the integral. We have sine 6x minus we have sine 4x. This half is gone outside of integral. We have minus sine 2x, and this is 0, so it doesn't matter if you don't write. And this is getting integrated with respect to x. All right, now we can just integrate it using the standard formula of integrals that we have. So we have minus 1 by 4. Integral of sine is nothing but minus cosine. So we have minus cos 6x. In integral, remember we have to divide by coefficient of x after we are done integrating. So integral of sine 6x is minus cosine 6x divided by 6 because the coefficient of x is 6. Minus, again, integral of sine is minus cosine 4x divided by 4 because that's the coefficient of x, minus, again, sine 2x, integral is minus cosine 2x divided by coefficient of x, which is 2. You could have also done U substitution individually, but it's not worth it. You just remember that in integral we have to divide by coefficient of x for linear terms. Okay, you can do this only for the linear terms. Now let's make this a little bit cleaner. So what you can do, just make this negative negative positive, okay, and multiply this negative 1 by 4 inside of that bracket, and let's see what do we have. So this negative 1 by 4 times this negative term will become positive cosine 6x divided by 24, okay, negative 1 by 16, so cosine 4x divided by 16, and when you multiply this 4 and 2, so you have negative cosine 2x divided by 8, plus let's add the constant of integration c, and this is nothing but your final result. I hope that makes sense. I love defactorization formulas, the way it makes your integral super simple without any complicated steps. It is beautiful to apply. If you want more such helpful videos, do subscribe to this channel and like this video. I'll see you guys tomorrow.